You are at a family dinner, or maybe a Monday morning meeting. The air is heavy. Someone stares at you across the table. They squint their eyes. They lean back. Then they drop the question. Maybe it's, why are you still single? Maybe it's, did you actually finish that report? Or did you just rush it? Boom. Your chest gets tight. Your heart rate spikes. You feel a cold drop in your stomach. You know you didn't do anything wrong. You are innocent. You are competent. So, what do? You start talking. You vomit words. You pull out your mental files. You show your receipts. You explain your schedule. You explain your life choices. You stumble. You apologize for things you didn't even do. You are desperate to be understood. You are desperate to prove you are a good person. But stop for a second. Look at their face. Are they listening to your logic? No. They are watching you squirm. They are the judge. And you just volunteered to be the criminal. You have been lied to. Your teachers taught you. The truth will set you free. Movies taught you. If you are innocent, you have nothing to hide. Wrong. In the real world, in the cold mechanics of power dynamics, defense is submission. The moment you start explaining yourself to someone who is committed to misunderstanding you, you lose. You aren't communicating. You are begging for validation. You are handing your power to them on a silver platter. Today, we are going to kill that impulse. We are going to delete the nice guy programming that thinks you owe the world an explanation. You don't. Let's get into it. First, you need to understand the invisible game being played right in front of your face. It's called the frame. Every interaction has a frame. Think of the frame as the rules of the game. In a courtroom, there is a judge and there is a defendant. The judge sits high up. The defendant sits down low. The judge asks questions. The defendant answers them. The person asking the questions holds all the power. The person answering is the one in trouble. Here is where you mess up. You let other people set the frame. Let's look at a real scenario. You are at work. You have a toxic coworker. Let's call him Gary. Gary is insecure. Gary wants your job. So, in the middle of a team meeting, Gary leans over and asks, "Hey, are you sure you checked these numbers? They look a little off." Gary has no evidence. Gary hasn't even read the report, but look at what just happened. Gary just put on the judge's robe. He just put you in the defendant's chair. Most people panic. You think, I need to prove I am competent. So you open your laptop. You start showing spreadsheets. You start walking him through the data. You start sweating. See, Gary, it's right here in row 45. I double check the API. Stop, you just lost. Even if your numbers are perfect, you lost the war. Why? Because you accepted his frame. You accepted that he has the right to audit you. You accepted that you have the obligation to prove your innocence. This is a classic Machiavellian move called burden of proof reversal. In a real court, the accuser needs evidence. In the social world, manipulators skip the evidence and go straight to the verdict. If you jump through hoops to answer a question that was asked in bad faith, you are dancing, and they are the ones playing the music. Don't dance. This brings us to the deadliest trap in human psychology. If you take one thing from this video, burn this acronym into your brain. JAD. Justify. A. Argue. D. Offend. E. Explain. These are the four horsemen of submission. Manipulators know that if they can trigger your insecurity, you will JAD until you are exhausted. Let's take this out of the office and into your personal life. Imagine a partner or a friend who thrives on drama. They hit you with a vague, emotional accusation. You've changed. You don't care about me anymore. You're so selfish. It hurts. You're a good person. You do care. So the JADE cycle begins. You justify. No, I was just working late to pay for our vacation. You explain. My battery died. That's why I didn't text back. You think you are having a conversation. You think you are using logic. You think, if I just explain the facts, they will understand. Wake up. They don't want facts. They want fuel. When you explain, you are handing over resources. You are giving them your time, your energy, your emotional stability. You are treating them like a high-status authority figure who deserves a report on your behavior. And here is the kicker. When you explain, you give them ammunition. Watch what happens when you defend yourself. You say, I couldn't call you. I was in a meeting with my boss. They don't say, oh, okay, makes sense. They pivot. They say, oh, so your boss is more important than our relationship. You always prioritize work over family. See what happened? Your explanation didn't solve the problem. It just gave them a new target to attack. You are feeding a vampire with your own blood, wondering why it's not getting full. It will never get full. High-value people do not explain themselves to people who are committed to misunderstanding them. Explanations are for friends and allies, for enemies and manipulators. Silence is the only answer. So, why do they do it? Why does the aunt at Thanksgiving drill you about your career? Why does the internet troll call you cringe for trying something new? Why does your insecure friend make fun of your gym routine? It's not about you. It never was. Carl Jung called this projection. I call it vomiting their shadow on you. People carry around a bag of rot on their backs. Inside that bag is everything they hate about themselves. Their failed dreams, their cowardice, their laziness, their envy. It's heavy, it stinks, and they can't look at it. So, they look for a target, they look for a screen to project their movie onto. You are the screen. Let's go back to Thanksgiving dinner. Your aunt asks, don't you think it is risky to start a business in this economy? You should get a real job. On the surface, she sounds like she's worried. Dig deeper. She is talking to you. She is talking to herself. She is talking to herself. She is talking to the 25-year-old version of herself who wanted to be an artist, but took the safe corporate job instead. She hates that part of herself. She killed it decades ago. And now, here you are, doing the thing she was too scared to do. Your bravery insults her cowardice. Your freedom mocks her cage. This is called a narcissistic injury. Just by existing, just by trying, you are holding up a mirror to their failure. And they hate what they see. So they attack the mirror. They try to smudge it. They try to break it. If they can bully you into quitting, if they can make you feel small, then their choices are validated. If you fail, they can say, see, I was right to stay safe. When you understand this, the game changes. You don't get angry. You don't get defensive. You feel pity. Why would you explain yourself to a ghost? Why would you defend your life choices to someone who is already dead inside? When you see the projection, you don't need to argue. You just watch the movie playing on their face, and you realize, this has nothing to do with me. Now, let's talk about their favorite weapon, the label. Manipulators are experts at weaponized altruism. They use beautiful moral words to lock you in a cage. Words like loyalty, family, team player, generous. It sounds nice, but it's a trap. Imagine you are at work. It's 5 p.m. You are done. You have plans. Your colleague, the one who spent all day scrolling TikTok, comes to your desk. Hey, can you finish this for me? I thought you were a team player. There it is, the bind. If you say no, you are officially selfish. You are not a team player. You are terrified of that label. You want to be the good guy. So you sigh. You cancel your plans. You do his work. You just paid a self-betrayal tax to avoid a bad label. Here is the dark truth. He is calling you selfish because it serves his selfishness. He is calling you disloyal because he wants your blind obedience. He calls you cold because he wants to burn your warmth to keep himself warm. So, how do you escape? You accept the label. This is the ultimate power move. When someone tries to control you with a word, you take the word and you wear it like armor. They say, you're being selfish. You don't say, no, I'm not. I helped you last week. That's JAD. You say, if protecting my time is selfish, then yes, I am selfish. They say, you've changed. You say, yes, I have. Do you feel that? The air leaves the room. You just cut their puppet strings. They expected you to panic. They expected you to beg for their moral approval. Instead, you agreed with them. You cannot manipulate someone who doesn't care about being the good guy. Be okay with being the villain in their story. Because in their story, the hero is just a slave who does whatever they want. Don't be their hero. Be your own sovereign. So, you stopped explaining. You stopped caring about their labels. But they are still talking. They are still poking you. How do you shut it down for good? You use a razor. Specifically, Hitchens's razor. It states, what can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Memorize that. Tattoo it on your brain. If someone accuses you of something but brings zero proof, you don't need a defense attorney. You just dismiss it. They say, I heard you were talking trash about me. Old you would panic. Who, when? I never said that. New you applies the razor. Who said it? Do you have a recording? No, okay. And then you go back to work. If they don't bring receipts, you don't open the register. But what if they keep pushing? What if they are screaming, crying, begging for a reaction? You deploy the gray rock method. Imagine a gray rock on the side of the road. Is it interesting? No. Does it have feelings? No. If you kick it, does it scream? No. Be the rock. Manipulators are drama junkies. They are addicted to the dopamine hit of your emotional reaction. They want your anger. They want your tears. Even your annoyance is a snack for them. Starve them. When they try to bait you into a fight, give them absolutely nothing. Become the most boring person in the world. They say, "You're ruining this family," you say. "Okay." Flat voice, dead eyes. They say, "Are you listening to me?" You say, "I heard you." No eye contact, no sarcasm, no sighing. Just nothing. You are a blank wall. Watch what happens. They will escalate. Then they will get confused. Then they will get bored. And finally, they will leave to find an easier victim, because you are no longer a source of supply. You are just a rock, and nobody argues with a rock. This isn't just about winning an argument. This is about your soul. For your entire life, you have been walking around with a mental subpoena in your pocket. You act like you are constantly under investigation. You wake up every day ready to plead your case to your parents, your boss, your partner, and even to strangers on the internet. You are addicted to the courtroom. You think if you just present enough evidence, if you just explain yourself one more time, the jury will finally love you. It's a lie. The jury doesn't care. The judge is rigged, and the trial never ends. So here is your choice. You can stay in the box. You can keep dancing. You can keep feeding your energy to people who only want to drain you. You can stay a defendant forever. Or you can stand up. You can look at the judge, and you can walk out the door. Real power isn't about proving you are right. Real power is not caring if they think you are wrong. Marcus Aurelius said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Stop caring more about their opinion than your own reality. The next time someone hands you a ticket to their mental court, the next time they demand an answer, the next time they try to pull your strings, don't explain, don't argue, tear up the ticket. You are the judge of your own life. The court is adjourned. Stay stoic. Stay dangerous.